Hello YouTube, Jason from Renegade Rants Comics. So I'm going to be bringing volume 2 of my Ghost Rider collection. So Son of Prom actually commented on the first video, and not a lot of people watched that, but he said he would love to see the Danny Ketch. So this is going to be the 90s Danny Ketch collection. So we'll start it off with, from 1990, the first Danny Ketch, number 1, and the first appearance of Death Watch. And I had both Howard Mackie and Javier Salteras sign it down at Terrificon at different times. Then we have issue 2, which is also a key. It's the first appearance of Blackout. We have issue 3. We have issue 4. We have issue 5. And this was Howard Mackie and Gregory Wright actually did the cover on this. And of course, 2 of my favorite characters. This is the first time that Punisher meets Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Now, the next issue is actually not a key, but it's the first time that Mark Teixeira actually did the art. So Tex is on this, and I love this cover. Then he stayed on, and so we had that on issue 7 as well. And we had 8. We had 9. We had 10. And this is a key in the Ghost Rider Volume 2 anyway. It's the reintroduction of Johnny Blaze. And in the end of Volume 1, basically, Zarathos and Centurius were kind of locked in a sphere or something like that in this eternal battle. So Johnny Blaze is free of the spirit, free of the curse, having Roxanne ride off into the sunset, happy ending. And then this issue shows up, so they have 2 kids, they own the Quentin Carnival now, and basically he hears that in New York there's a Ghost Rider running around, running amok, and he thinks Zarathos is back and he's going to go put him down once and for all. Not really sure what he thought he was going to do considering the fact that he had no powers, but... So then we go into issue 11, and this was from 91, and Larry Stroman and Mark Teixeira on the art. And then we have issue 12. Doctor Strange goodness on the front. And this is one of my favorite covers ever of Johnny Blaze. Just, I love that. And of course that's Tex. And then we have issue 14. This is also a key. It's the debut of the Johnny Blaze Hellfire shotgun. So in this storyline, they basically realize he still has a little juice from being possessed all the time, and I don't know if, I can't remember if Ketch actually kind of infuses the gun and then he's able to fire it because he can wield it or something like that, but they do something and it never needs to be reloaded and all the other stuff, so it gives him kind of a, because he's mortal, like at least some kind of power. Now, issue 15 is probably, out of this run, the most recognized book, and that is because it is the glow-in-the-dark cover. So this is the first glow-in-the-dark comic book cover ever, at least according to what I looked up. Now, the second printing of this is actually more valuable because, and I don't know why, but I guess they did a lesser print run on the second, so that would be the one with like the gold border. I see a lot of collectors that get it. I haven't tested this to see, it's been in a box for so long, I don't know if this is actually still glow in the dark, so I might just do that as like a short just to see. But that one's kind of cool. And we have issue 16, little Spidey goodness, joining up with Ghost Rider. And we had issue 17. Issue 18 is also a really cool cover, and this was from Mark Nelson. We have issue 19, which introduces, it's a key, but it introduces the stupidest villain, in my opinion, in any kind of Ghost Rider storyline. So there's this guy that wants to kill himself. All he wants to do is end it all. He's trying to do everything that he can. And Mephisto shows up and basically is like, hey, let me give you something. I'll help you out. So he gives him, like, immortality. Like, literally, he can't kill himself. So Mephisto then turns and he said, the only one that can kill you is Ghost Rider. So why don't you go track down the Ghost Rider and he can kill you? But you have to try to kill him first, so he'll want to kill you. You know, good old devil logic. But then we have issue 20. And this is Ron Wagner art. But I don't know if you can really see there, but that's not chest hair on Suicide. That's a mesh workout shirt. At some point he's naked in the comic and he steals clothes to try to get away or something, and he's wearing like one of those knit open muscly shirt things that they had in the 80s and the 90s, and I think workout shorts or spandex shorts, I can't remember, but this is the menacing villain. Meanwhile, the storyline going on is that there's a serial killer, the Zodiac, that's going around, and he's got androids, and, you know, Ghost Rider's trying to track him down. Meanwhile, this moron keeps on showing up, and, like, I've been annoyed by a lot of, like, villains that don't need to be there. Like, the storyline was perfectly fine just having him take on the bots and trying to go without adding this. I don't know if it's supposed to be comic relief or just they were drinking a lot that week. I don't know. Now, issue 21 is from 1992, and this is actually a Jimmy Palmiotti cover. And I actually have a Jonah Hex one from New 52 era, signed by him down at Terrificon. This is a key because it's the first appearance of Michael Battolino, who becomes Vengeance. So now, we have issue 22. There's a cool cover on that. We have issue 23. We have issue 24. Then we have issue 25, and I think they were trying to pay homage on this one to Ghost Rider 6 from the original run, or Volume 1. So this was Howard Mackie, Ron Wagner, and Mike Witherby on the cover, but on issue 6, John Romita Sr. had it kind of like with Blaze's face melting off, so I just thought that was kind of like an homage to it. Then we have issue 26. Now, this isn't a key, but when I was kind of looking this up, I didn't even realize this at the time. This is Jim Lee and Scott Williams on the art on this. So I know it was when Jim Lee was doing a lot with the X-Men, but like I didn't realize this was a Jim Lee cover. And then issue 27 is also a Jim Lee cover with Scott Williams. So any Jim Lee collectors out there that are trying to get all the covers he did, there's a couple for you. Issue 28 is a key. Again, I had this signed by, you can see it, Howard Mackie down at Terrificon. This is from 1992. It's the first cameo of the Nine. And if anyone doesn't know what the Nine are, that's the Midnight Suns. So this was Andy Kubert and Joe Kubert on the cover. And this is one of 6. Then we go to issue 29. Good old Wolverine on the front of that. And we have issue 30. And then we have issue 31, which is also a key. So it's part 6 of 6 of the Rise of the Midnight Suns. And it's the first full team appearance of the Midnight Suns. And this is also from 1992. Now, this was the one thing, I haven't got them all yet. I do have the Morbius, because Morbius 1 was, I think, 2 of 6. But I think they had a 3 of 6 in Blade, and there was a couple other ones in like the different storylines kind of things. So, not high on my agenda to try to track them all down, but if I do find them, I do actually want to get them, so I have them for the collection. I have issue 32, and this is Brett Blevins on the art on that. We have issue 33. And I have 34. $35. And we have 36. 37, 38, and this is a Mike Manley cover. Move this stack to get to the next. So then we have 39, and this is Ron Garney. Now, issue 40 is kind of a famous book. There's 2 black covers in the Ghost Rider Volume 2. And I could never find this thing, so when I did finally track it down, I was very excited. It was more than $1 bin, but I'd been struggling to find this, so I wanted it. This is Gregory Wright art. Now, if you look, the cover is completely black. I mean, it's got kind of a cool, like, you know, goldish brown trade dress on it, so I'm assuming that's what he did for the cover art. But I'll talk more about why the black cover is weird to me anyway. So we have 41 is still Ron Garney on the art on that. 42. 43. Because now when we get to 44, I own this one probably about 5 times now. Because every time I would see it, if you can kind of see, and it's kind of hard to see in the light, but you can actually see there's a kind of a holographic image in there. But if you kind of look at it in certain light, it just looks black. And I would say, oh, it's that black cover I need. And then not actually look at the number. And, you know, that kind of thing. So we have 45. We have 46. Good old vengeance on the cover there. We have 47. We have 48, which is a good old Spider-Man vengeance on the cover. We have 49. We have 50. And of course, this is foily 90s nonsense goodness kind of thing. And it's not a real high grade copy, but I found this in $1 bin one time. I was super excited about it kind of thing. And again, that's Ron Garney and the art on that. Then we have 51. And this is when it kind of switches over to, it's from 1994 and Salvador Larroca. Kind of takes over art for a while on that. And next batch. We have 52. 53, 54, 55, and that's the nice team up with Werewolf by Night. And this is when the writer switches over to Warren Ellis, and then the cover again was Salvador Larroca. Then we have 56, Howard Mackey's back, and Larroca on the cover. We have 57. I don't know why, but anytime Wolverine's riding a motorcycle with Ghost Rider, it gives me goosepimples. We have 58. We have 59. We have 60. We have 61. We have 62, and you can just tell it's the 90s, man, late 90s. Look at that, just costume-ish, whatever is going on. Then we have 63, and this was also Salvador Larroca cover, but Sergio Malaya is on the cover as well. Alright, into one of our last stacks here. So we have 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Oh, come on. You just look at that 90s, it was a different decade, man. Like, I was a small kid in the 80s. I graduated high school in the late 90s. I graduated in 96. But the early 90s, where it was kind of that transition from 80s to 90s, there was some, you can't describe it if you weren't there. So we have number 70, and this is when Ivan Velez Jr. and Salvador LaRocca kind of are going to take over for quite a while on that. I did like the cover where it's got the Rolling Stone t-shirt on, Danny Ketch. Thought that was kind of cool. We have 71. We have 72. We have 73. We have 74. 75. 76. And of course, this is one of those turn it over covers so you can see the whole thing, but kind of cool. He's taking on vengeance. We have 77. That's a pumped out Doc Strange. I don't care what you're saying. Like that, that's a 90s, late 90s Doc Strange if you ever saw one. We have 78. We have 79. And of course, this is when he kind of gets a new costume-ish. Because, of course, we had a new costume. It kind of fit the storyline, but it kind of just, this is the downfall. Then we had 80. So let me grab the last stack here. So we had 81. Now, after 81, you will find these in dollar bins, and if you do, you buy every single issue that I'm going to tell you about. Because this is when they had such a low order, they stopped printing them, which eventually killed the series. So, the first one is going to be 82. And this was from 1997. There were only 27,727 copies ordered. Now, this should be a dollar book all day long. It's a key because of the low copies ordered. And this took me forever to track down. So if you see this, Serious Ghost Rider Collectors, I paid, I want to say almost $20 for this. And it's ridiculous that I did, because there are probably people somewhere that are tripping over copies of that in a dollar run, but I'm telling you, pick it up. So then we've got issue 83. And so this was Ivan Velez Jr. and Pop Mahan on the cover. Now we have issue 84. Okay. Issue 85. Issue 86. So again, 86 is one to pick up if you find it in the dollar bins, because there was only 24,004 copies ordered of this one. Again, this is a bear to find for Ghost Rider collectors that are trying to complete the run. There's probably somebody that's got 10 copies of it floating around going, it was just a junk book. I'm telling you, I paid more for that than I did most of the run. So then we have 87. And this is where each one after this becomes more valuable. Not really. Not story-wise, but this is a key. This actually is the first appearance of Wallow, who's a wraith who feeds on misery. But this was from 1997, and copies ordered went down to 21,529. Then we have issue 88. This was from 97. Copies ordered went to 20,478. So if you see those two, pick them up. I'm telling you, if you pick them up in a dollar bin, I'll buy them off of you, because I know what they're going to be at some point. Like, I'm not trying to spec the market here. I know what a bear it was to find them. So if you're in the community and you know Ghost Rider people, and you want to have trade stock, that it doesn't cost you much and you find it in a dollar bin, pick it up, throw it in your collection, and then, hey, I've got 87, I've got 88, 89. We've dropped to 20,082 copies. 90. This one gets even lower. 19,994 copies. 91. Even lower. 19,122 copies. And then 92. And they've started bringing everybody back. So Velez is still writing, but they brought back Ketch and they brought back Salvaterras to try to, I don't know, fix it. But basically, this is the second to last issue. There was only 18,861 copies of this. Now, the last one is 93. And this one breaks my heart. Okay? So, this is The Last Temptation Part 4 of 5. And it was canceled after this issue. So, we never got the resolution. It was left on a cliffhanger. So there was only 18,202 copies. As of November 1st of 2023, there are only 9 copies on the CGC census that are a 9.8. This is not a 9.8 copy. I paid a lot of money for it, but it's not a 9.8 copy. I've got some, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some spine ticks. And then there's some slate rolling up on here kind of thing. It's a good presenting copy, and I'm perfectly okay with that, but I almost, when I looked that up, I was like, I ought to send it in just to see what it would come back. Now, flash forward. 1998 is when that ended. It ended on a cliffhanger. So, in 2007, they finally brought back the team. So 10 years after Ghost Rider Volume 2 was canceled, Ivan Velez, Mark Teixeira, Javier Salvaterras, and I think Klaus Jensen came back to complete the story arc. And it was just to finish up the issue. So this was from 2007. This one is a little easier to find. This doesn't have a high print run either. So if I was going to tell you to do anything, like, I know a lot of the content creators I watch are literally going through dollar bins. Oh, that's Ghost Rider. That's Ghost Rider. Oh, yeah. You know, dollar bin diving, 50-cent diving and stuff. But every once in a while, I will see them come across anything from 87 to 88. I would say 87 to 93 if it's Ghost Rider, you buy it. If it's in a dollar bin, buy it. Trust me, you can flip it. You can either flip it for a good trade with somebody that's trying to fill in a run kind of thing that doesn't want to pay for a lot but is willing to give some of his books away, or somebody will buy it because they are becoming so unbelievably scarce to try to find. And I'm not trying to, if you want to put hate down in the comment field, you know, that I'm trying to get people to just, you know, speculate on it and buy it. I'm not saying it's going to be $1 million book. What I'm saying is that if you see it in a dollar bin, don't leave it in the dollar bin. Because if you pick that up, it has value. It's not going to be a retirement, you know, condo in Maui value, but it's a value to another collector that you can in turn use for good trade value, you know, trade stock, hell, resale value eventually. So, but that's my Volume 2 Ghost Rider run. Now I have a lot of, in the 90s there was a lot of offshoots. There was, I've got a whole box of like team-ups between Ghost Rider and people, and it was usually the team-up where Wolverine was on one side, and then if you flipped it over, it was Ghost Rider on the back side. So I got quite a few of those. Probably do a video on those at some point. I have all the newest Ghost Rider, the Jason Aaron run. I don't actually have the first few issues, or Mark Way. I've got like issue 9 or 10 on, but I have the trades at the beginning, and then Heaven's on Fire and all of the other stuff, the Garth Ennis, like prequel Ghost Rider kind of thing that he did. That was amazing. I am very excited that my character seems to mesh with all my other favorite characters, like Cosmic Ghost Rider, even though I know it was kind of a goofy take on the whole thing, but Frank Castle becoming the Ghost Rider and merging and becoming a Cosmic Ghost Rider. As far out there as that was, it's like my boy and my other boy becoming one, yes. And then, so this year when Benjamin Percy actually made Helverine, and then I was like, he's not Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider, but he's his own Ghost Rider, and that's still pretty cool, and the way that they're going to be doing that out, so I'm looking really forward to seeing where that goes. If anyone hasn't read those, on the last series of Ghost Rider by Percy, I think it was this year, like ended April, May, you pick those up in a back diving bin or whatever. It's a pretty good read. Weapons of Vengeance is what you're looking for. And then I think Wolverine 36 was Weapons of Vengeance 2 kind of thing, and it's when you kind of everything gets explained in there. I know there's a Helverine coming out in December, so I'm very excited about that. So what did you like out of the Ghost Rider? Is there any artists that you saw on there? Most of the artists, if I didn't name the artists, is because they, like Howard Mackey wrote 3/4 of it, except for I think the last 24 issues or something like that. So it was the same artist. So Sal Terrace did like the first 10 or 8, and then I know Mark Teixeira came on, and then it switched the artist, I was telling you the artist. So hopefully everybody has a good day. Hopefully everybody got some enjoyment out of this. Like, comment, subscribe, give me some comments down there. What would you like to see the channel do next? I've got a complete Punisher 90s run. More just, picking up at sales and, LCSs, my normal pickup kind of thing. So let me know. Thanks.